everybody, I hope you're doing good today. And today I will be doing Proverbs 28:13. Whoever conceals his transgressions will not prosper, but he who confesses and forsakes them will obtain mercy. The more we get into God and the Bible and God's ways, it does transform you. And when you first start out, it's kind of weird because you're thinking, can anything really change the way I am? Yes, God can, and that is the truth. His word, when you stick with him and you read his word and you pray and you become aligned with him, and you will want to do his will. That's just how it goes. And of course, the more you go into things and the higher you go, the more responsibility you will have. And you will have to be responsible for your actions. And so many, I think there are so many, it seems like right now, and there are many that are, with the enemy, who will not take responsibility. A narcissistic person will not take responsibility for themselves. It's always everyone else's fault. It's never their own fault. They never sit down and say, hey, maybe I did something wrong. They don't ever look at it like that. It's always everybody else's fault. And they're always mad at everyone else but themselves. And that's where you really truly do need to start, is with yourself. You have to admit when you're wrong. If you know that you're wrong, you have to admit it. And if you are wrong and you go to God, he will, as I've always said, he will forgive you. Our God is a loving, kind, and very caring God. And as I've said so many times, he will give you chance after chance after chance, and even more chances after that, to make things right before he ever acts on anything. But after a while, that has to get very frustrating. It does for us. And no, God is not a man. But it gets old for him too, having to keep giving people, chance after chance, and they still do the wrong thing. They still do the wrong thing. And I do know that people who've done wrong things have lost their team that helps them in heaven. That people have lost their spirit teams because they just don't do the right thing and don't do right by the chance that God gives them, and do right by the ones that they live with here on this earth. So many people, they will, keep doing the wrong things to people instead of, saying, hey, I was wrong to do that, and I need to change the way, I do things, and be sorry for what they've done and change the way they do things. If you are truly of God, I tell you what, it will change you. That's something, when I first started out with this, I never dreamed how much it would change me, but it truly has. And I love God. I'm crazy about him. I won't even lie about it. I love him very much, and he knows I would do anything for him. Our God is a beautiful God, and turning to him is one of the best things you will ever do. He will see to it that you are taken care of, and when people are disgusting to you, you don't have to take revenge on those people. God will come in his time, not our time. Our time is different than God's time. He will come in and he will take care of it, and those people will not be bothering you again, guaranteed. And a lot of people, they push him to that point. They don't stop when they're told, knock it off. And God will, he'll give them chance after chance. And, I know that I've warned people for different things, and that's fine. You don't have to, take my word for it. But if God tells you, knock it off, you better do it. He's not playing around, and his children, he does not play around with. Now, if you hurt one of his children, you might as well just sign your own warrant, because it won't be very good for you. And I've seen this myself. God doesn't put up with a bunch of silly stuff for very long. He does get sick of it. You know, he will warn people, warn them and warn them and warn them, but then when he's done, and that is it, you know. So, you know, people do need to take responsibility for their actions, and as I've always said, go to God. If you've done something wrong, you know it's wrong, go to Him. Tell Him, you know, I'm sorry, and ask for forgiveness for the things you've done, and then change what you do. That doesn't mean you go back to it. That means you change the way you do things so that it doesn't happen over and over and over and over. You know, because once again, after a while, you know, like the little boy that cried wolf, that too will get old. So, that's some food for thought, I guess. So, with that all being said, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day. I love you so much. God loves you even more. Thank you once again for listening to me, always.